Hey folks, JD here, and today we've got this. This is the Holy Stone Predator. I'm really quite excited to be opening this, so let's open her up and have a little look. So I've already snipped the little label there, just to make it a bit easier to open up. And here we have her. Right, so here's what we got. Two plastic packages rather. So we've got one that houses the quadcopter, and then we've got the other one then which houses the transmitter. So what I'm going to do is move the accessory bag and the transmitter to one side. Let's just have a little look at this quadcopter to begin with. Oh, that feels nice. Right, okay. Does feel quite plasticky, but it feels quite rigid and sturdy plastic. That looks quite nice. Look at this. So this is the little Predator. So it's got quite a mean look to it. It's got two little LED eye holes here. So as soon as we connect the battery, we should see some light coming out of these eyes here. As you can see, we've got two white propellers for the front, two black propellers for the back. This is really quite nice. Underneath it, we don't have any camera. It's just quite simply the underneath of the quadcopter. This quadcopter is quite a basic one, but it's again another indoor-outdoor quadcopter. If we have another look and upside down for the second, look at these landing sprigs. They're just curved over plastic, which is going to provide quite a little bit of spring as these actually go down and land against the floor. That's quite nice. They're separate from the motors, as you can see. Here's the motor housing and the motors, just here. Here's the landing sprig, and they're all separate from it. That's really quite nice. At least this way, the plastic isn't going to get brittle or bend as soon as the motors heat up. So that in itself, that's really quite nice. Right, so let's have a quick little look at this battery. Now for the battery, there's no battery bay door, but you do have this little lip here, which you've got to pull out a little bit in order to get the battery out, and I'll show you why as soon as the battery comes out. When the battery is out, I don't know how well you can see this, let me just position this with the camera. See, there are some little, almost like teeth on the inside of this white strip here. Now that is where the battery clicks into. If you're just going to pull the battery out, you're going to end up weakening this little cable here. So you're best off just pulling this little bit of plastic apart. See, it is quite pliable, and then once you've pulled it apart, then the battery just slides out quite nice and easily. So there's the quadcopter. Here's the battery. So the battery is coming in at 3.7 volts at 550 milliamp hour. So again, pretty standard voltage for anything which charges off USB. Pretty standard milliamp hour as well, 550. You should get between 6 and 8 minutes of flight time with this, and it'll probably take about an hour and a half to charge up off USB as well. So not to lose it, let's just pop this battery back inside here. Now let's plug up this quadcopter and let's have a quick little look and see whether there are any. Oh, there we go. If we just turn this light off, here we go. So out of its little eye holes at the front here, you can see there's a blue LED and then a very vivid red one then on the back. God, these LEDs are bright. Right, let's turn this off. Oh, there we go. So let's turn the battery on the right way actually, so it doesn't pull too much on the cable. So there we have it. Quite a standard, quite a mean looking, quite nice quadcopter with some quite nice little features on it as well. So I'm really looking forward to taking this out for a flight. One final thing to note as well, the propeller guards are already on, but you can take them off with this little screw here if you prefer to. I don't know how well that will actually, it just looks like, once you've undone that screw, it just looks like this propeller guard here just slides off the motor. So there we go. If you did want to make that modification, that is something that you could do as well. So let's put that to one side. Let's have a quick little look at this transmitter. This is, because this thing just seems really large. Look at that. It's next to the quadcopter. Look at the size of it. Now, we've seen big transmitters from the likes of Hubsan with their larger copters and their nano copters, and now we've got this, and honestly as soon as I put it into my hand it just feels too big. It's far too large. Look at the thickness on this, just to give you some sort of an idea on this. If I put my finger next to it, look at the thickness on that plastic. It takes literally 2 fingers to cover it up. It is huge. Okay, you can get to everything. You can get to the topmost points of the transmitter. You can reach all the buttons without taking your hands off, or you know, having to hold it a different way, a way that might not necessarily be safe. But it doesn't matter. I just think this is too big. Far too large. When you get it, the antenna is going to be bent over. Just click it up, and once it's up there, once it's extended, you should be fine to fly. So even though it seems quite loose there, it is turning, it's not actually tightening at all. Okay, so maybe it doesn't tighten, maybe it just stays nice and loose. But there we go, it is secure, so it's not going to come off. Now then, battery wise, you need, God, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 AA batteries to power this thing. Normally we see between, it's normally 2 AAAs, 3 AAAs, 4 AAs. This is 6 AAs. Now, these are going to have to be pre-bought batteries, as this charger does not allow any sort of USB charging whatsoever. Once you put the batteries in, just flick the on switch at the bottom here, and then you should be ready once the quadcopter's on, just to bind to it with a standard up and down motion. So there we go. So we've got a couple of buttons on here as well. We've got some trim buttons. I'm sure there will be some buttons on there which are going to be used for 3D flips and turn-ins. We'll have a little look at that now when we take it out in the next couple of days. Something else that does come with it as well, which I'm going to show you as well, is the accessory pack. So, inside here, what do you get? Well, you have your standard USB charger for your battery in your quadcopter. You have a couple of cards, both in different languages, but pretty much anything like don't charge the battery if it starts to swell or anything like that. You get 4 spare propellers, 2 white for the front, 2 black for the back, a couple of extra screws, and a little propeller motor tool there as well as a screwdriver, and of course your obligatory manual, which is pretty sizable, to be fair. It's probably in quite a few different languages. Yes, it is. There we are. So there we go. You've got yourself a nice little manual there as well. So that's everything that you get inside this pack. So you get the transmitter, the quadcopter, the USB charger, the accessory pack with your propellers, a couple of screws, and the propeller tool as well, screwdriver, manual, and cautionary cards. So let's just rearrange this a little bit nicer so you can see the things that matter. Right then, there we go. So this is everything that we have, folks. So please join me in the next couple of days when I'm going to be taking this guy out and putting it through his paces. Thanks ever so much for watching, folks. I've been JD, you've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.